Welcome to Tired with Carrie and Janny today. I feel
tired.
We have one kid homesick for, was it day 2 of being homesick?
Day 2.
And
up all night with a tummy ache to the point where I
ago.
had to sleep next to him in his twin bed on the inside because he likes the outside better. And he's just smashing up against me, snuggling up against, and I was like, don't breathe on me.
You're like, you could snuggle me, but don't breathe on me.
I don't want to get sick. I'm a hypochondriac. What?
I don't know if it's hypochondriac. It's just like when you're laying there and you see your kid,
oh my God,
they are sick and they're just like breathing on you fully.
At one point I was facing him because I was talking to him, and then like I'm trying to go to sleep and he's just like snuggling up and he's like
it gives you like a full breath in the face.
Full breath. Thanks for breathing on me, bud.
And then you wonder how parents get sick so often.
Oh my God.
It's because your kid like coughs in your own mouth.
Well, like these poor teachers, right? Like how often do they get sick? They're constantly around all the sickness.
I just think that, at least for us as people who teach now, I just take tons of vitamin C. I take a zinc vitamin C every single day just for fun in the afternoon.
If I could talk with a mask on, I would, because I'm like, you guys are all sick.
You would really hate it. I taught during COVID and it was no fun to wear a mask and try to teach because also it does take out that element of like, are they paying attention or not? Because you can only see their eyes, and as long as their eyes are looking at you, you're fine, right? And then even if they're not, they're sort of just looking down and you can't see their facial expression, so it's like better for you in a way. But then when you're trying to project through a mask, at least for me, all I tasted was coffee, like recycled coffee air the entire time. It was so gross. I hated it.
Oh no, but whenever a student comes in and like they're with mask on, I'm like, I appreciate you for wearing a mask, yes. But if you don't feel well, please go home.
Oh, I know. Same. I'm always like grateful for the masks really anywhere. Like if I'm in the mall and people are wearing masks, I'm like, thank you. Like that's awesome. But yeah, no. So you were up with Taylor 2 nights ago at the so it's like once one kid gets sick, like the family, like the repercussions are family wide. And so we were all up because we also have a small house. So once Taylor's
tiny home.
Taylor's turning 11. You know, he's got a big body now. He slams his way into the bathroom.
He's so big.
The bathroom's like right in the middle of our house too. So like if anybody goes to the bathroom, like everybody hears it. And poor Evelyn's room is like right next to the toilet. Like so once that toilet flushes, like she's awake, and then so you're up with him and I'm awake, but I'm just like laying in the bed like, okay, now I can't go back to sleep.
Oh my God, and he's awake and he just continuously wants to talk.
Oh my gosh, that's the thing when he gets sick.
Oh my God.
Talking. There's just so much. Where does he get it from? I don't know.
Oh my God.
I just know when he's sick because he's up at 6 a.m. and he's already got like 18 stories ready to go.
Oh my God. But like he really just was not feeling well, and I felt so bad for him because you know when you get that stomach pain and you just can't sleep because like every time you're just about to fall asleep, pain.
Yeah. And
crunch.
It's a stomach bug too. It's just like there's nothing like else you can do. There's not even a fever that you can treat with Tylenol.
Well, and like we know it's not anything that we ate because he ate the same thing Evelyn ate. He ate a burger. And then, like, he had the same ice cream that I had with the sprinkles. Yeah. Unless there was, like, one sprinkle that had the germ.
Or his cone.
Probably, yeah.
Or didn't even have a cone.
He had a cup.
This is when you become a doctor. Like, when you're a parent, all of a sudden you become... parent equals, like light doctor. Like, Diet Coke doctor.
Listen, I went to Google University.
No, right? And you're like...
Dr. Google helps me a lot.
But you run through everything. You run through, like, what did we eat? You're almost, like, ready to make a diagnosis, really. And then we're like, oh, it's stomach virus number 105 that we've had this year. And that equals, like, now you just have to stay home and watch your iPad all day.
Well, and then you went on into the open house and you find out like his best friend like had the flu for like a week or two.
Yeah, and it's just like these kids get sick, and then you realize because the teachers are just like, yeah, no, everybody's getting it, and I'm like, they are like,
I know, news to us, hello, because we're healthy.
Everybody's sick all the time.
Try not to go out and be in huge crowds like Sky Zone too often.
But we are also trying to give Taylor a chance to like decide a little bit. Like this is that new parenting, that gentle parenting, where we're just kind of like, you know, like my inclination is like to send him to school. Like that's my my foundation. It says like you're pretty much better. Like you could go to school today, but he's still like the stomach's still not 100%. Like it would be uncomfortable. Like I get it, right? But then so now we do the thing where we say to him, you have to know your own body. It's important for you to know in your body, like whether it feels good or not to go to school. And we trust you not to fake it and try to get out of school. So what would you like to do? He's like, I'm not going.
No, but like we put all these things in line, right? Like, okay, so if you stay home, there's no Fortnite until Evelyn comes home, because that's only fair. And then like, we're not staying up late tonight. Sad news is that he's not going to soccer tomorrow. Boo. Which is like huge though, because he loves going to soccer. He loves to go see his, like, one of his best friends, like, and just play, right? And then also staying up late on a Saturday night, that is now all gone. And he still decided to stay home. And although he had like there was like a little seesaw of like, oh, almost going to school. Like, I can't decide.
Once you took away the staying up late on Saturday night, because that's like one of his favorite things to do, we'd let him stay up till like 9:30, maybe even like 9:45 or 10, depending. Like, once that started to go away, he was like, I could like go into school late. Like, I could go, maybe, but he ultimately decided not to go. Yeah. So,
which is still an option. Like, if we could send him in at like 10 o'clock, it would be still a good day of school.
Technically a day of school, yeah.
Technically.
But I think he's out. Yeah. I think he made his call. So now he has to
He's live. Like, it's worth the risk. But I think his tummy still does hurt. Like, he's not even eating full meals yet.
I just enjoy when he really thinks about it too. And he goes like, Mama, I've thought it through. And I think my decision is to stay home today. And here's why. And then he's got like a soliloquy about it.
PR campaign, perhaps?
Where does he get it from?
I don't know. How many times are you going to say that?
A lot. Title of that. Just saying. It's my homage to Bon Yang and Matt Rogers, my favorite podcast that Jenny doesn't want to hear about anymore.
Shout out, Bon Yang. I did enjoy, so I stayed up all night, so Carrie was so kind to let me sleep in. And then I got this little note from
It says, have a great day. Sorry I can't give you a hug. Love, Evelyn. Aww. Yeah, she was, because we're like a tight family of 4. And we do pretty much everything together, right?
Oh my God,
I don't know if that's
so
just
weird.
like a 2-mom family or what, but
no,
it's
just us.
And so when one of us is down, like the others are just like, wait, what? Like, are you okay? And so she was just like, what is Mama going to be up by the time that I go to school? And I was like, I don't think so today, honey. And you can write her a note if you want, but let's not wake her up. And so she just decided that that's what the note was going to say. And
oh my God.
Yeah, she was just really sweet.
Can we talk about this handwriting?
Yeah.
What?
That's first grade handwriting right there.
First grade.
Yeah. She's going to be our, like, we're only worried about like over perfectionism.
Oh my God.
That's like, what I'm worried about for her. Like nothing else, like all those milestones, all the things hit. But when I see her at the open house and she looks like she's like a classroom assistant, like rather than a student, I'm just like, okay, you're doing great. Like also, like you don't have to do like most of these things.
You don't have to teach the first grade.
Right? Like you're okay.
God. Oh my God, is she going to become a professor?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it seems like it kind of runs in families, like I was thinking about one of my high school friends who ended up being a professor because her dad was a professor.
Aww.
I could see that. Like, yeah. He had this super cool library, like in his.
Oh my God, is this your dream library?
Well, and they had a small house too, so I think about it sometimes with our house. So that he literally made the living room just like one humongous library where there were just like bookshelves all the way up to the ceiling. That was kind of my inspiration for the bedroom. Which we still can
do if we expand this house by just 100 square feet.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe 200.
I don't know. We've already dumped a lot of money into this.
I know we can't.
Gorgeous mid-century modern 50s ranch.
Oh my God.
Sometimes it's like you never know where you're going to end up in life. Like, did you think that you would end up in a 50s ranch in Syracuse, New York?
No, I didn't think I was going to live past 30. I thought I was going to be in a ditch somewhere.
Wow.
I know.
Wow, you were like, live fast, die young, bad girls do it well.
I don't know. Wow.
Listen.
That's going to make it into
We all had our phases in life. I'm turning red now. You don't know the words to that song?
No. What song is it? Please share.
I think it's called Live Fast, Die Young.
By
Bad Girls Do It Well. I'm not sure.
God.
I don't know. It was.
Now we're gonna have to look.
Did you ever watch that show in like the early 2000s called Bad Girls Club? It was the theme song. That's where like the expression "pop off" came from. Like there was a lot of
No,
cultural moments that came out of the show.
How old were you when you watched this?
I was like in my 20s. I think we were dating. I'm pretty sure. It's like what I used to watch when I was hungover. And
Was
it
that the
just
one
like,
that Chelsea Lately was in? No.
No.
That wasn't like a comedy.
She was in The Bad Girl. Oh, that was Girls Behaving Badly.
Oh, okay.
That was a great.
Yeah, totally.
You should rewatch that show. I bet you it doesn't hold up at all.
Probably not.
We were watching comedy last night, though.
Oh.
What's his name? Nate Bargatze?
Borghetti. I don't know.
What a funny guy. I don't, and honestly, I'm going to hot take. I don't like male comedians that often.
What
I
a
really
surprise.
don't.
What are you, a lesbian?
Hot take. I prefer women. No, but I like to see female comedians because
I'm sorry.
they usually, well, and this is wrong too. Like, I like to see what female comedians have to say. The only problem is that they still are talking about like sex and bodily fluids most of the time. Like, I love Eliza Schlesinger, but that latest one, I was just like, gross. Like, why is it always about like stuff, you know, like the liquid
private
stuff,
part stuff.
Yeah, I know.
There
like,
you
what's
go.
the mom way to say this? Like, there's something else that comes out except for pee, is what I said at one point. But like, so they're talking about that kind of thing all the time. Even Ronnie Chang, like, love Ronnie Chang, but that last one was a lot about like fertilization and things like that. So the Nate Bargatze is great because his stuff is about nothing. Like it's kind of like this show is about like. What was it about? Like his daughter and like that daughters are different than sons and how sons are like bobcats.
Relatable stories, right?
Yeah.
All relatable stories. We all have siblings. We all have partners in life.
Right, who like to do things differently than us. Some of the descriptions of his wife were definitely like you, like where she was very handy. And she like mows the lawn. But I enjoyed his description of like if you're gonna mow the lawn, you have to tell all the neighbors that it was your choice. Because I do think sometimes the neighbors look at us and they're like, why is that woman like mowing the lawn? And it's just weird because like gender stereotypes are that the man mows the lawn, but there's just no man.
Naika mows the lawn, although
does.
now Dwayne does it because he bought a sit-down mower.
Can we talk about the sit-down mowers?
Oh my God, go for it.
Oh my God, neighborhood controversy, you guys. I just think that sit-down mowers for small suburban lawns are kind of ridiculous.
And like, what is it? Like maybe a quarter of an acre? Not even? Maybe like, yeah.
This is like someone like spit on an acre. Like that's like a little patoo of an acre. And now people are like, oh, let me get out my sit-down mower. And I'm just like, no, I don't. If you have something that like prevents you from pushing around a mower, fine, maybe. But I see these men and they don't, and they have mowers and then all of them do it at the same time. So like when one of them, this is like a true suburban moment, they're like, vroom, and it's like the call, like, let's go, men, we have our mower time. And they literally like all of a sudden like all the garage doors come up and they're, and then all the mowers start to come out and it's just like all these dudes whipping around these tiny little lawns with their mowers. And
no, like one of our neighbors, Pat, across the street, does not.
Yeah.
And like they've been here for a while, so I'm like, will he break down now that Dwayne?
I know, because I didn't think that they would do it. I was like, wow, you succumbed to the neighborhood peer pressure real quick.
Well, I'm just like, well, what did you do with your electric mower?
Yeah, wasteful. There's the sustainability side of us where we're like, now what happens to that? You don't just put it in a dump, right?
Oh, sell it online on Facebook Marketplace.
You do for $5, whatever it is that people will pay for things. But yeah, I feel like the guy that doesn't have the sit-down mower, he also mows his lawn in like 5 minutes. Like he's just like, oh
my God,
it's done.
It takes more time to do the maintenance on the sit-down mower than to actually mow the lawn with a regular mower.
Yes. Though there is one person on our block where he looks like he just really, really enjoys the sit-down mower like a lot. Like he like takes care of it. He like, I don't know, there's like a lot that happens with the mower before it even leaves the garage. And then he just really, truly looks like he's enjoying himself. So I'm like, you know what, you do that. That's great.
I feel like
fine.
he should start his own landscaping business and he'd be like super heavy. But although I think he only wants to handle his own. And it's so specific. And he gets out the edger and the weed whacker. I mean, it looks really good when he's done though, I have to say. It doesn't perfection.
You know, let's give him props because his lawn is like ASMR, basically. Like that's fine. The rest of this is a mess.
Even his methodology of like how he goes and what direction.
Yeah,
nicely
like
done.
it's okay. So,
well done.
So that one is approved. The rest of you guys, not so much.
I know, like nobody really uses their garage here.
Yeah.
except for as storage.
Which is such a strange trend when we moved here, right? We were like, oh, Syracuse, it's cold, it snows.
Of course you use your garage. No.
No, like literally not at all. Like we converted our garage into one of our primary living spaces.
Oh my God.
We are out there all the time.
Don't tell the town so we don't have to pay higher taxes.
Hey, listen, we still have the plug in the ceiling, which apparently still makes it a garage.
Obviously.
Yeah. And it's just an epoxy floor, but we put in, like we made it so that it was insulated. And we have a heater out there. It's not actually like heated from the house.
No, air purifier.
And it's just Taylor's game room, really.
Taylor / Peloton room.
Yes. And
/ desk.
Mommy and Mama's game room.
That Evelyn has taken over.
Oh, right. So Evelyn has discovered the joys of YouTube.
Oh, God.
And, oh my God, has gone down the Mr. Beast rabbit hole. Can we talk about that? Like, it's like she was one type of girl like a month ago, and now she is another type of girl because she has started to watch these YouTube videos, and she just gets more savvy about like how things work in the world. Like that's why they grow up so fast. But it's like, no, they grow up so fast because like YouTube shows them so many different things, even when they're watching like the most like chaste content. Because I'm out there like, what are you watching? What's going on?
Let's be clear, like, she does not wear headphones, so we know exactly what she's listening to. So sadly, we have to listen to it. There was at one point I was like, Evelyn, change it. This one's not good. No. This is not cool.
Yeah, and it's like just dumb stuff. Like, so Mr. Beast is a YouTuber who got a lot of money doing YouTube videos, right? Like, and his content is like, it's compelling content, and it's annoying how compelling it is.
It's game shows.
It is. It's the same like game show quiz show thing that's been going on since like television was invented. But it's just like, I challenge these dudes to eat 35 Post-its, and if they do it, they get $5 million.
I like your dude voice.
And I'm like, what are we doing? And
I don't know.
So then we have these conversations with Evelyn.
Oh my gosh. Like very serious, like you wonder, like, oh, wow.
Well, you did it too. I did it. And these poor kids, because they get one thing from one of us, and then the other one doesn't even hear it and comes in like 20 minutes later. And it's like, have you considered the implications of why Mr. Beast gets to have all this money and give it to people? Like who, like, because we were kind of saying like, is it right, we asked Evelyn, that Mr. Beast amassed this much money and that he gets to like give it out to people however he sees fit, and then he makes them do like these weird challenges which then only benefit him again, and he makes more money because of that. And how does he treat people on his set? And I've seen YouTubes that say that Mr. Beast is not great with some of that stuff. So it's just like, but so at least we're, I don't know, she's media literate, I guess at the end of the day.
Let's talk about how we talk to our children compared to other kids in elementary school.
What is the difference?
It's just like, I don't know what it is. Like when these other kids sometimes come over, like these neighborhood kids, they're like, they look at me, I talk to them, and they look at me, they're like, you're talking to me. Like, I'm like, what do I do? Hi, nice to meet you. Just talking like a regular person. And like with our kids, like we just talk to them, and you know, with all your SAT words, this is great because it's like getting them ahead of the curve. Although, will they actually have to take the SATs by the time they go to school? Who knows? But it's like, I don't know. I feel like the way we talk to our kids like regular people rather than talking down to them like, you shall not pass. Like, that's what I feel like I have to say. No, you cannot do that. Like, or like, no, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. Rather than you can't do it, you shouldn't do that, and here's why.
Yes, I agree. I like that. What is that from? That movie, like, you shall not pass.
I don't know, I think it's like Lord of the Rings or something, like which troll. I haven't actually seen. It's like a troll.
You're like the troll in front of the bridge. I mean, that is a lot of parenting, right? You're like, no, you shall not pass. But I think it's totally true because, like, our kids are kind of like, but why? Like, what's the explanation? No, but we would never not give them an explanation as to why they can't do something. There's no because I said so. There's no like, you're not allowed to do that. It's just like, no, you're not allowed to watch that one Mr. Beast video because that content is like, it's like brain rot content, and they know what brain rot is.
Right.
Oh my God, can we talk about the Italian brain rot? Because now I'm getting served all of these videos about Italian.
I don't know what that is. Wait, before I was, oh crap. Now I was going to say something because sometimes I think my favorite is when you start describing like, no, you can't do that. And I'm not sure why. It's because of societal reasons of blah, 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 blah.
This is when I get into like professor mode. I'm like, so there's these things called hegemonic forces.
Oh my God.
And what they create is ideology. And so then inside the ideology, there are expectations and norms.
Oh my God.
And like, you don't have to follow them just because the hegemonic forces are telling you to.
I feel like when Taylor's listening, it's like wah 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 wah, and then Evelyn is just like.
Evelyn's like, yes, I've heard of hegemony before. Please elaborate. Yeah,
and I don't know if it's because like girl and boy like brain are just totally different, or maybe because they had two separate donors. Like I don't know.
I don't know. I do think that sometimes Taylor looks at me and he's like, "Mommy, you're so pretty." Like I love to hear you talk. Like even though I'm not listening to a word you're saying, which is fine. That's totally cool. I'll take that too. But yeah, I think that, what was I going to say?
The
Italian brain rot.
What is it?
Okay, so first of all, I watched too many TikToks yesterday when I was like totally brain dead because of being
Nobody
tired.
had sleep.
And so then I got started. We watched one video with the kids about Italian brain rot, which is the new like language that Gen Alpha is using. Like brain rot in general is like now a category of language where it's like the skibbity, Rizzler, Ohio, all these words that they say that nobody knows what they mean if you're like in our generation and above, but they love it because it's almost like their own like little secret code. So like skibbity means weird, Ohio means weird, lots of the words we mean weird, and Rizzler means you have charisma, like you're the Rizzler, you know, I don't even know. So now there's this whole like subset of brain rot words, Italian brain rot, and also it's not even like real Italian. I feel like this is like not great cultural appropriation, but like there's a word, like a phrase, ballerina cappuccina, that they're all saying, and I'm just like, this is so random. But apparently there's also like AI pictures attached to them too. They're like characters. So I saw literally TikTok has a huge breakdown.
Now I'm gonna get like a ton.
You're all gonna get
Thanks.
it. It's gonna be great.
Thanks
but ballerina cappuccina, and they're all like crocodile, blah 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 blah. Like they all like rhyme, you know.
What does it even mean?
It doesn't mean anything, and apparently they're going around like shouting it in their like middle school classrooms. Yeah. So that's your update for today on the evolution of language.
The evolution of language.
It's just getting better and better. What are the things and worse and worse.
What are the things that we said? I don't even remember.
We said really dumb stuff too. Do you remember like the 80s like slang? Like
yeah, I think I tried to shove that in the back of my head and never visited again.
Do you know what was the one that always like I was always like, whoa, was the gag me with a silver spoon?
Oh yeah, what?
Why?
Was there like a lot of bulimic? Like bulimia happening?
But like what? Anything to do with like
throwing
why?
Up? I don't know.
Also like, I mean, the silver spoon part, does that mean you have like money? You know, like there's a lot in there. I could write a paper.
You probably could.
But also then like now that has evolved into like gagged, I'm gagged, like, which like is like I can't even believe this happened. Like I'm so overwhelmed by emotion that I can't express myself. It's like I'm gagged. And then so much of that kind of language comes from gay culture. It comes from like queer people who say totally different things because we're over here like in the margins of society doing our own thing. So yeah, I was reading about that too. These are the things I do and I'm just like on my phone.
Just learning the education of
I just
TikTok.
learned.
It's interesting to think about though, like what we're learning from social media. But then what about all those people who aren't on social media? How are they getting their information?
Who are they?
I don't know.
Who's not on social media?
Mel.
I know.
My sister.
We have two people. It's good. You got two. I don't know anyone who's not on social media. Remember we had one employee at our old business and she was not on social media and she had never been on social media, Caitlin. And like
yes,
and it was like
still isn't
so admirable. Her parents raised her with literally no electronics, no social media, nothing, and it stuck. And like we were in a business where we almost like needed her to be on social media. So shout out to Caitlin because she didn't cave at all. She also was like in the time when we were like drinking and doing too many things at once, was like the one person that was encouraging me to get 8 hours of sleep. I was just like, that's adorable. But thank you.
8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I know. We came close last night. We got her like.
Speak for yourself. It took me a while. I had tea too late.
Can we talk about your secret time at night? Can we talk about like what you do, like which is like this very sweet thing that you do, which is that you wait for me to go to sleep first.
I snore.
Yes,
I snore. I do have sleep apnea, according to you.
You definitely do, because it's like that. Like you're about to die.
Here, please give an example.
It's like it's just like, oh my god, are you all right? Are you okay? Please breathe.
I just wanted you to do it.
I wanted you. It's like any sleep apnea ad where they tell you need like the CPAP thing. That's you.
Again, just getting served more and more ads of stuff that I'm never going to
just
get.
make sure the algorithms work for the things that
my
you
brain
need.
still works just fine. So that would be interesting, right? If I actually got a full 8 hours without my sleep apnea,
What would that be like?
What would my brain be on fire? Like, would I be like, because we all know how hyper I am now, and like how I can't stop. Like I will continue to do things if things need to get done.
Yep.
But if I actually had sleep, would that slow me down?
Oh, I
or
wonder.
would that like times 30?
I don't know, because I like really have no idea. Like I also do a lot of TikTok about like cortisol levels, and I have no idea where yours is, because you also like, you know, those like low dopamine routines, like you don't do any of those. Like
What are the low dopamine things?
Exactly, because you're like the low dopamine.
What does that mean?
It's like over here and you're like down here, like or up here, I guess, as it were. But you don't check your phone when you wake up in the morning, like right, like literally when you wake up, you like roll over. Instead of saying good morning to me, by the way, today, she rolls over, she gets her phone, she's like, and I see Outlook, boom, open. And I'm just like, I cannot, like.
I know, it's so bad.
I've got myself out of it, but you're in it. Also, so you stay up later to make sure that I fall asleep first, which is just like, what a gorgeous like lesbian partner thing to do, right? And so then I go to sleep all like 10:30, like knowing nothing, right? But then you stay up and watch like shows, and like you have like a whole night like after that, like a whole
for
like,
at least
hour
an
or two.
hour.
Yeah,
at least.
But
an
then
hour.
you wake up at the same time as me, and then you're like. You're like never tired usually. That's the other thing about yesterday was like I'm like, oh no, the Janny is broken. Like it's just not.
No, and as long as I have my
weird.
chai and like my masala chai.
Yeah, but you were tired. Normally that's it, but yesterday you were not.
No,
off to the races.
I was by noon.
Yes. And that's also when I started to go down.
Oh yes.
I started to just sleep on the couch.
I was working on the couch and I look to my right and you're like.
It's like when you work from home and you're like I'm gonna work, and you work in the morning, and then after lunch you're like I'm gonna go on the couch and work, and then you start to like.
Wait, but like as we get older, like are we just gonna have nap time as normal as part of our work schedule? Because like let's be real, I'm gonna retire eventually, but I'm still gonna be working because I can't not work. As long as my brain is still working, I will want to work. So it's like I'm gonna be like 10 o'clock, like it's time for my nap time.
10. I think your nap time will be like. Well, you can't, but then if you sleep during the day, then you don't sleep at night. You don't get to like have the balance.
Not yet.
Yeah,
I mean, I see my dad, but like I feel like he gets only like an hour of sleep at a time. It's like hour of sleep up, hour of sleep up.
Your dad is a very special case though.
Yes.
Like they do go to bed at like
wonderful.
8:30 now. You know, like they start to like wind it down. So who knows when he actually goes to bed though? Because I think he's like you, and he's just like up doing stuff. And
he definitely is, because he keeps he doesn't even like the AirPods. He likes to connect it knowing like where it is, because then you don't have to fish and look for them.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I get that.
I know, right? He just like he won't let me buy him AirPods.
Dad is so practical.
He is practical. He gives the AirPods to my mom. It's really adorable.
See, yeah. I wonder where you get it from, Janny. But yeah, I think that you stay up late and then you get up with me, but then you don't do any of the low dopamine things. So your cortisol levels, I feel, are a little higher than mine. And then you
just
like,
a little.
You like go. You got like some kind of engine inside that's just like do, go. I wondered, saw a video that said that maybe you get dopamine by completing tasks. Like that. So like that, because like dopamine comes when you complete a task.
Yeah, because once I'm done with something, I'll actually sit for at least 5 minutes.
Does Janny actually rest? Question mark. The answer is for 5 minutes at a time.
So, you know what I have? I have it in my like head, like back of my head is my mom, like, rest when you die.
That explains it.
Quotes by Angela.
Well, like we've talked about before, like your parents worked real hard. They worked like 2 jobs. Like they're not, you know.
My mom was like an overnight nurse, man. She would like go to work all night and then come home and just be at home when I came home from school, but she'd be sleeping. So I'd be watching a lot of TV.
Hence the television.
Xanadu. Hence Xanadu.
Which, like, for our like very loyal, small but mighty following, Xanadu did resonate with people. Like, I'm surprised how many people actually knew what it was.
Listen, because it's got a cult following.
My favorite was Evelyn was just like, what is this Xanadu? And what kind of word is that? I'm like, yes, girl.
It's a real word. Look it up. I
know.
Don't remember the actual...
It means like nirvana. It means like the best place you could ever be.
Obviously, it's Xanadu.
That's so funny.
I just didn't want to say the actual description because I have you.
Oh, yes, because I'm a walking human dictionary.
Correct.
Yes, which I enjoy. I enjoy, like, there's something about the teaching and the research that I do now where I like to be able to, like, sum up concepts as quickly as humanly possible. That's my dopamine little thing for my brain.
Do you know what my favorite is?
What?
Anytime I ask you a question, no matter what, even if you don't actually know the answer, you will answer me. Which eventually, I think it wasn't until a decade later of our like relationship where I was just like, wait, is that true? And you're like, I don't know.
No. I think that there is an ADHD like must that I must answer the question no matter what. And so I do. And then most of the time I'm like, that was about like 75% true.
I mean, honestly, like when I do Google it, you are like 90%
Yeah.
like true. So I just usually just believe it. And I kind of stop looking it up now, unless it sounds really, really absurd. But
At least you know me well enough.
appreciate your Carrie's notes is what I like to call
them Carrie's notes.
Carrie's notes.
I feel like I appreciate that you like now trust at least a little, because before you'd be like, no, that doesn't sound right.
Incorrect.
And also you can tell when I'm like making it up, I think now. Like I think like if I start to trail a little bit, or if I go on a little too long, or if I re-explain something, then that means it's probably not true. Just so everyone knows, so all the podcast listeners, like
ridiculous.
It's
so like if you want to talk to your partner, just give them an answer, even if it's absurd. Just give an answer.
I know.
It's actually wonderful. It's really lovely. I appreciate that.
I sometimes also try to accept the kids' absurd answers to things, like, and I just like, do you correct them on every single thing? You do,
yes.
and or not. Because I like a lot of times I'm just like, who cares? Like, just let them, like, I'm not letting them believe that like the earth is flat or anything like that, obviously. But like if they think like there's like some like Evelyn explanation as to like why a rock is sparkly, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's exactly why. Yep, you nailed it, Evelyn.
You nailed it. Then, are you just training her to be able to answer questions like for the rest of her life?
This is like a self-fulfilling thing. Yes.
No, I'm just trying to teach Taylor, just like Google it.
Yeah,
just Google it, because that's what we do for the rest of our lives. Google it.
We do. I think one thing that we correct with the kids and ourselves is the Brene Brown, like the stories we make up about other people and about ourselves, like that, like kind of like deeper stuff.
My God, I did that a lot, and then it wasn't until maybe 5 years ago where I'm like, I don't freaking know their life.
Like, how would I ever know that?
I have no idea what's going in somebody else's life. I need to stop making up these stories and just live my own life that I actually know about.
I know. And just like trust that everybody's trying to do their best, right? Yeah. And like and when you like let go of that, that's also like the Mel Robbins like let them theory, you know, where if you just like let go of like any expectation that you have for someone else and how they're going to behave towards you, then it's very freeing.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to do. Like, it's so hard to not try to like, I spent a lot of time, especially when I was younger, trying to like intuit what people wanted so I could anticipate their needs, which was kind of my job in PR. And I felt like I was really good at it. Like I could know what a client wanted before like they even knew they wanted it. What
oh my God, you sound like
right,
like an 80s executive.
Insane. But like, why was I requiring myself to have this like insane amount of like a mind reading ability? Like,
but you kind of did.
The clients need to tell you what they want and what they need, and then you need to tell them as an expert what you think you can do, you know, to execute those objectives.
It'll be interesting with all this information that we have and that we're, you know, imparting to this wisdom to our children, like how they're going to grow up is going to be different, and how. Like, it took us to 42 to stop making up those stories in our heads. Mm-hmm. So, like, at what age will they? Maybe it'll be less. Like, maybe it'll be in their 20s, 30s.
Yeah. No, I know. And I think it's important, though, too, because especially Taylor has some, like, well, I think that this is what they're doing. And then I also think that this is what's going to happen because, like one of his friends is not at soccer, and he'll make up a whole story as to why they're not at soccer. And I'm just like, dude, we don't know. Like,
no idea.
Like, there's no way to know that. And also, like, it's not your job to know. Like, it's how you can let go of that, you know?
I know. I like that you're like, it's not your job.
Yeah.
So you can let go of it.
Which is also what I tell myself. Like, that's so much of what I tell them is like literally like the like reworking of my own lovely neurodivergent brain to be like, you stop worrying about these things that are not your job. And I tell Taylor all the time, like, you have to start talking to your brain, because it just takes you in unproductive direction sometimes, and you just like refocus it. Somebody called it on the, you know, the TikTok that I've been doing way too much of, that you can like pinch your brain towards like one thing. And I was just like, as soon as I heard the word pinch, I was like, that's going to be really hard for me. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. But if you literally like stare at a flower outside and you just focus on that one detail, you can like pinch your brain towards that one thing for like not long, like maybe like a minute.
Oh my God, that would be like 5 seconds.
It would be so hard, right? But it's also like, if you do that, you might actually get like calm in your brain. Like it's one way to focus your brain on one thing. I know. But
I don't know what that is. What does that mean?
Impossible. So like I try to do like let's just focus on one thing for like this 5 seconds. And then, there's other times where I just let the brain run wild. That's what I do in the morning sometimes when I'm up at 6 and you're still snoring in my ear. I give my brain a moment to say, like, you just do whatever you want to do. You think about whatever you want, all your disaster scenarios, all your crazy, like, what is this person doing and why? Like, what are the kids going to be like when they're 50? Like all these weird things that you want to think about.
Kids going to be like when they're 50?
I don't know. Like sometimes the brain wants to like unravel. Like
are you going to be alive?
Well, no. And it's like, what are we going to be? What's it going to be like when we're not alive? And like,
I know, like lots of death at like in your 40s, right? You start thinking about it.
You think about the mortality of yourself and the people around you.
I know, but then you have to stop and be like, okay, like let's be in the now.
Well, but that's like you let the brain go into all these crazy directions, and then I pull it back, and I usually do a meditation on Headspace, which is one of my favorite apps in the entire world. I've done Headspace since Evelyn was born.
I know.
So 7 years.
I'm glad that you did it. It really, I feel like it's definitely helped you. On the other hand, cannot do it. Absolutely not.
So I'm meditating. I'm doing like an acceptance track, right? Where it's like, what are you resisting today, right? And I'm just like, I'm like resisting like everything, the freaking world, right? And then you're like, here's my email. Let me
Sometimes
open Instagram.
I'm looking at the news, which is disastrous, but whatever. It's fine.
Let's read email in the news.
See where the stock market's going right now.
Before we even get out of bed. You're on like an adrenaline rush by the time you even leave the bed.
Well, even if I wasn't on my phone, I'd still be on an adrenaline rush.
That's true.
Because I'm like, breakfast,
you're just
lunch,
naturally, yeah.
Let's go. What am I making for dinner?
I am telling you, you're a dopamine task related. Like
it must be.
Boom.
Makes sense.
That's how you get it.
Thank you for your diagnosis, doctor.
See? Parent equals doctor. I'm telling you, I'm just nailing that right now. No. No, not at all. It's fine. And it's 75% true. Look, see?
What do you got on the docket today?
I have to write today.
Right.
I'm just excited that writing is my job. Like, I feel like that whole like question of like, are you doing what you really want to be doing with your job? The answer is yes for this woman.
Are we allowed to talk about how you're writing 2 books?
Yes, we can talk about it. I think that you want me to talk about it, and I don't want to talk about it because then it makes it like super real.
It's already real. I feel like if we do talk about it, it'll feel better because you'll just do it.
I think because there are 2 books due at the end of August, so it feels like that feels like now, and I'm going to just do it, and I'm not going to like this is another thing I keep telling my brain, I'm going to stop worrying about it and just do it, and like just you have to just like commit, and like as the kids say, you have to lock in and just do it. That's it. Clock it, lock in. That's all those words that they love.
It is true though, like you can't think about how much, because I get paralyzed sometimes when I'm like, oh my God, I just got like 10 projects in and they all have to be done right now. Like, no, you have to project manage yourself and just like look at your overall schedule and kind of really break it down.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Just start working. Just start doing things and completion tasks.
And training your brain to want to complete things, whew, what a ride that has been. Because you love it and you do it all the time. You love a completion.
I have the opposite. Yeah, because you have a different feeling, but I'm just like, I'm trying to get to that completion as fast as I can.
Yeah.
But efficiently.
Fast and efficient, and there's a right way to get there. That's
It's only the one way. It's the Huang way.
Which I've learned, I'm like, your right way, the Huang way, might not be the way that I do things. Actually, it's definitely not the way that I do things. Like,
always different.
I'm over here in some like ADHD, like la 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 la. And then this is really interesting. In comparison, the way that I view, like, yes, I want to set out the tasks. Yes, I know how to make a timeline. Do you remember the timeline I did for the books? That was like adorable and totally unrealistic. And so then I write out these timelines, and then I have, whether I have like a little bit of like autism where I'm like, yes, I would like this super strict rigid schedule. And then my ADHD comes in and is like, let's just blow that right up. That was cute. We're not going to do it that way at all. So then I decided to allow myself for this. So I'm writing this one textbook. For the textbook, I am writing all the chapters at the same time. Every single one is allowed to be written in whenever I have inspiration for the chapter.
In true ADHD fashion.
So rather than it being like one and then this, and I am still finishing like one at a time because I'm not totally crazy, but I'm allowing them, the way that I think about it in my brain visually is I'm allowing them to like slowly like drip down like a painting. Like there's like chapter 3 has a lot of stuff in it. Chapter 4 has a little. Chapter 6 started to have a lot of stuff in it because I got an idea for it the other day. And then like once I get a lot of ideas in them, then they start to form into real chapters. You're checking the time.
No, I'm checking to see if you're in frame.
I know I am going out of frame probably a little bit.
Yeah, you're ruining it.
No, you're doing it the wrong way.
It's not the wrong way.
What do you mean? Is
Oh
that
my
bothering
God.
you?
Not
Are you
funny.
okay? I thought you were like, oh, that's enough time.
No,
here.
what time is it though?
It is 9:28.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, that's not bad.
Yeah, no.
I know. I do feel like I want to cut it short though, because I have a lot of reading because I have to help proof your chapters and introductions and read them and think about what type of imagery that you would like me to do for them.
Oh my God, my favorite was when I emailed the publisher and I was like, I have a designer on board, so, and they're donating their time. So like that's taken care of. And they're like, oh great, I'd love to meet them sometime and like discuss the overall design for the book. I'm like, yeah, I'll see if she's available.
Which one is this for?
That's for the textbook.
Okay.
That was a while ago, it's just
I'm like,
more
I don't even know what you need. Do you need charts, graphs?
I need it all, Janny. So just,
Okay.
just let it drip down, just to, let the
Just gonna,
ideas.
Spreadsheets.
And you're like, I will organize your ideas. It's good. But textbooks don't require that much images, so you'll be fine. I just would like bespoke art created for each chapter. That's cool, right?
Just gonna take photos of things.
This is the story of your life with me, where I'm just like, I'm doing this thing and I have all these ideas and I need you to like do stuff. And then you're like, great, I would love to organize you.
I will make it happen.
I know, you do. And I'm so grateful for that.
I get to do this.
I know. Well, we get to create like updates for things that students will read. That's what I keep telling myself is that, these books are kind of like new ideas from a new perspective.
For the next generation.
For the next generation.
It is interesting to see where our careers have gone. Like, it's such a... Definitely did not think I'd be over here doing this in my career.
You didn't think you'd be sitting here in Syracuse overlooking the sit-down mowed lawns?
Or, just being an adjunct professor. Even a professor alone, like, teaching alone. Like, it's kind of... I feel like I could hear my whole family talk about making up stories. Although it was totally confirmed when my mom... I was talking to my mom, right? So... I think my parents were having dinner with my sister who was visiting and my brother and my sister-in-law, and they're like, and Jenny's a professor. Ha 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 ha. Right? That's like in my head, like that's what happens. And then I call my mom and I'm like on FaceTime with all of them and they're like, and then we're all laughing because you're a professor.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
It's like when the stories are confirmed.
Confirmed.
Is that even worse?
Well, I mean, we know our family is the best, right? So obviously we could make up stories that are most likely true. Because even to me, in my head, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, are you sure you want me as a professor? Okay.
That's so I don't understand why you feel that way because, I mean, I know your family's perceptions of you, which are always like wrong in my mind, but that's fine.
So
like,
their child.
That your parents, everyone seems to
card.
think you're like this like cute little baby that doesn't know how to do anything. And I'm just like, it's so different than how I view you. But then the like, you being a professor only makes sense because you taught everyone how to do everything in our other businesses. Like, you're just a very natural teacher to me. Like, where, if there was like we had a lot of young people right out of school that we would hire because we were, a startup-y kind of vibe. We didn't have a lot of money. And so we would train up people rather than, we didn't hire we hired like one senior person at our agency, right? The whole time that we had it. And you would train all of them in how to do pretty much anything. So like, it was like, a lot of them didn't even know how to use like Google Drive when they came in, and you would teach them how to do it.
I'm still
and that's what you're doing.
And like, even with the students in college, you're welcome, by the way, just teaching them how OneDrive works versus Google Drive, and just like having them actually use it.
Yeah.
Like, here's how you turn in your work. Like, I don't care about Blackboard. I only need you to submit something into Blackboard so I can give you a grade.
Right.
But everything else in OneDrive, because that's how I would want it at work, right? Like, I'm teaching them naming conventions, even teaching them like email. Graphic design is in your email, like how you bold words, how you make something underlined to emphasize something or highlight it in yellow. Your subject line has to be important. Like, how many I have 40 students right now, a little less than. I'm going to have like even more next semester, and teaching a different class. Tell me which class you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like, I need help.
Hey.
Hey.
Yo. I don't get any yos.
Right.
I've seen other professors who get yos,
but yeah, no, I like teaching. It's fun. Like, but it's that like, maybe it's perimenopause. I don't know, that confidence thing where some days I'm like, yeah, I am so, this is what I'm meant to do. And then there are other days like, are you sure?
Are you sure? Yeah. No, because it's one of those jobs that you just are not 100% sure that you're ever really doing it right.
Yeah.
You know, that you some days you're like, oh, I got it. Like like I'll come out of a lecture sometimes and I'll be like, nailed that lecture. Like I'll come home to you and be like, we had the best discussion. It was so amazing. Like I really like when you see all the light bulbs kind of go off, or like the majority, because it's never everybody. Which is fine, but it feels so good. And then there's some where you're just like, did I even get through? Like, was I even there? You know, and it's fine because everybody's got their own stuff going on, and
it's true.
They're figuring out so much during college.
I know, and like I wonder whether I'm doing a good job or not. And it's not until the end of the semester when they like all of a sudden I'm getting like thank you cards and like thank you emails. Like, I loved your class. I was dreading taking this class, this required course work, and then they're like, we loved it. I might go into graphic design. I was like, oh, it's like
it's all worth
that. That when like somebody's like, I think I'm going to go into graphic design, or I think I'm going to minor in it. I'm like, yes.
I know. And that's why, like, when I started doing it like 3 years ago, I think you thought I was nuts because I was just like, you feel like you spend so much time in corporate, and there's really great milestones and achievements that you get in corporate, right? Like a campaign is successful, a client does better. We created our own food and drink festival, and people came to it to the tune of like 22,000 people at its height, right? That felt amazing. But then now, which is like kind of funny to compare, now when I'm in a classroom of 30, if I can get like, if there's 2 or 3 people who come up at the end of the semester and are like, this class changed my life, I'm just like, which feels better? Like, I think I'm going to take this class changed my life because it feels so tangible. Like, it feels like you really did something.
Yeah, it does feel really gratifying. It's nice.
Although the festival was really cool. Like, when we watched the people come in, like those first few moments.
Like, selling out tickets within the first 5 minutes, that was awesome.
I almost like, I don't know if you remember like what that exactly felt like when we would watch. So you put the tickets on sale, and we would watch number one, our website usually crashed. Like,
it happened 2 times.
But like, it's good.
Out of the 9 times that we did
it. It's good in a way, because it was like the demand was just that high that the website crashed. Sorry. Shout out to the creative web team. Did a great job. But like just the fact that there were that many people trying to access our little cute website at that time was like pretty cool. Staggering. And then to watch, like, we would put thousands of tickets like available, and then to watch it go down to 0 in like 9 minutes.
That was crazy.
That was so, like, I just am like, now I know how Taylor Swift feels. I mean, it's just like, it's
obviously, what a comparison.
It's the same. But it's just that feeling of like, oh man, we're putting something out there that people really want. Yeah. That feels good. Yeah.
No, that felt really good. It was just bringing experiences in. But yeah, this is like a different level. It's just a different type of feeling.
Yeah. With
the students. And plus you feel like you're contributing, right? Like, it's almost like your own word of mouth. If they get the concepts, and then they're going to tell their friends.
Oh my God, it's so neat when they do tell their friends, and then you get like an email, or you get someone who shows up in your class and is like, my roommate told me about this class, and you're just like, wow, there's like word of mouth.
Word of mouth in classes.
That's very gratifying too.
You know what else I really enjoyed when there's always like 1 or 2 students. Well, I should say always, like, I've taught 2 semesters so far, but there was always 1 or 2 like, hey, are you teaching any other classes? Yes. And I'm like, oh,
that is really nice.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
3 classes next semester.
I know you're going up to 3.
Yeah, and a different class. So that'll be interesting.
I think that's like, it keeps it interesting too if you have
Yeah.
a different class that you start to do, because then it's just like a whole nother
Yeah.
creative ball game.
It is fun though, because like, you know, you could teach theory and like give them the tips and ideas, but then after that it's like it's up to them and their creativity and what they're going to do with it, right? So like that's kind of the fun part I really enjoy doing, because I'm trying to give them the confidence to just do it, no matter what even if it looks like crap. Because like stuff that I did when I first started, like it was crap.
All of us.
I mean, sort of.
I doubt it was crap, but it's like, it's, you know, you learn and you get better.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have my own different style that I've created, right? And then that's the whole idea. Everybody has their own style and thoughts and has their own memories of nostalgia that will come about.
I like your
into their
nostalgia
design.
lecture. That's my favorite
That's
one.
my favorite
Like
one.
where you show them where everything kind of came from, like how like typefaces have been inspired by like 60s fonts and things.
Right. Well, like what makes a 50s style, right? Like what typefaces does that remind people of? Like when you are targeting the boomers,
Yeah.
you need 50s style fonts. That triggers something in their memory and they're like, that's familiar. I love that style and that aesthetic. I don't know.
I remember that, right? I feel like if everyone has a little bit of like, I remember that, then they like what you did in a way.
What did we had like an 80s versus 90s like event because we were like ridiculous.
And that was your idea for our festival, an 80s versus 90s food event around sandwiches.
Which, if you really think about it, like some of the typefaces that we chose were inspired by Xanadu.
Because it all
comes
comes
back.
You should modify that lecture to be like, all good ideas come from Xanadu. for you.
There is a slide of Xanadu, like I show them, like, and like this is something I grew up with,
Yeah.
and I absolutely love. If you never see this movie, it's okay.
Yeah. You'll survive.
You'll
Yeah.
survive. And then I show them slides of pictures of artwork from Feast that are similar, but it still gives a different vibe. But it's got that little nod that's familiar with people. Now I see that typeface everywhere.
And this is called mediated nostalgia. And that's what I learned in my communications theory class. Thanks, Newhouse. But it is like, it's what people want to, they want to know that something is familiar. They want to look back. Also, we always look back with like rose colored glasses. Like everything was nice in the past, is better in the past than it is now, which is usually actually not the case if you think about like the history of the United States. But I think too that what I like about teaching too, I got the best advice. I probably have told you this before many times, but I got the best advice from another adjunct professor when I was back at Washington State University, Vancouver, when I started there. And he said, you have 15 weeks with the students. Decide what your story is going to be that you're telling them over the 15 weeks. And so you decide what the story arc is for them. And so that they can effectively follow along in your story. And he's like, and if you know what your progression and your build is going to be, and you know where you want them to end up, it's going to be a lot easier to plan out your lectures.
I know, but it gets like sad when like all of a sudden a couple of them get sick and then they miss the lecture, especially the ones, the like one or two students where I put like a specific slide for them based on their work. And I'm like, no, they're not here today. It's fine.
I know, right? You're like,
stupid.
Check out slide 15.
Yeah, I did. I actually emailed her. I'm like, oh, so sorry you're sick. Review the slides. Let me know if you have a question.
Because I did it for you.
I really care.
Like, I really did it for you, and I really care, but like I can't show it very much because you're 18 and I can't like be uncool at the
They're
same time.
at least 19.
19, 20 even. But still it's the same. Like we're just like, I did this for you, like it's cool. It's cool.
Oh my God. That's like crazy.
It's like dealing with Taylor in a way, you know, like where it's just like, so do you want to like do your homework, you know? Let's decide.
Chill.
Let's decide together.
Oh my God, when he like comes up and he's just like, hey mama,
Oh my God.
you want to like go play Fortnite?
Oh my God. It melts every time. I'm a puddle when he's like,
so
when he's
sweet.
all shoulders all of a sudden.
Oh my
Like,
God.
There's something about little man
God.
man shoulders that just all of a sudden he speaks with them. Like, and I'm just like, he's going to ask some like girl, boy, non-binary person out and be like, hey, do you want to like, and they're going to be like, yes. Cause like, it's just so
you're adorable.
Cute.
I don't know, but we might have to buy a bigger house purely because of how large he's going
not
to
gonna
be.
fit in
He's
it.
not going to fit in it.
No, I know.
He's going to hit his head on The doorway.
He already does. I was downstairs doing the laundry and he like jumped or something and it felt like the whole house was gonna fall apart. I was just like, oh my, he's just gonna come crashing right through that floor.
Scared.
Yeah. Well, and Evelyn too, because she's very tall as well. And she's in her room and being like, why is my room so small? And I'm like, is it? I don't know. What's small? Define small.
I don't know. They're like rarely in their room. Although she's been in her room more and more that I'm like, I don't know.
There's like living room kids. There's like kids that are out in the living room. Have you seen this trend?
No.
Like, did you grow up as a living room kid where like you did all of your playing and stuff like out in your living room, like, and you had like the TV and whatever, and it was like cool? Or were you like a bedroom kid? Like, and there's like a lot of people have theories on like why those happen. But I was like, I think I was definitely a living room kid because I'm like,
I was a living room kid for sure.
I always want everyone to know everything that I'm doing, like in case you haven't noticed. And I did go in my room when I got like angsty in like teen, like, and I blasted my like pearls.
I know, that's why I'm like, she needs a bigger room by the time she goes to high school.
Yeah, we'll see. In a room that doesn't look like a cute little like art piece.
Oh my God, I can't wait for her to be like, can I just like repaint my walls? And I just want to start fresh with it because it's so much stuff in her room.
I don't know why it bugs you so much because
I can't, like, I feel like I just want to clean it and I need like cohesion.
Which is weird because you're the pack rat of the family.
I know.
You're the one that always wants to save everything.
It's hidden.
It's hidden. I made a little credenza to hide all the stuff.
I know, it was driving me nuts when I didn't put the cabinet doors on.
But Evelyn has everything. We've talked about this, strategically placed. She would know if one thing was out of, like one of her pictures fell down the other day and she like knew, you know.
Oh my God, she really does.
So
it's
crazy.
Scary.
Yeah, but I love that about her. Like her room just is like, it's like a little art gem right now. And it's like a time capsule almost because I can feel it. Like, I think that's the thing about this age is like, she's turning 7, Taylor's turning 11. And you can feel the little kid stuff like slowly slipping away.
Aww.
And that's like, it's so bittersweet because I love exactly who they're becoming. Like this like real independent human thing that's happening is so great. But then the little like, mommy, I want, I love you, you know, is like, it's different now. And it's more like, she still says like, I need you and I love you, but it's just in a totally different way.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. Oh my gosh, she was in her room this morning writing in her diary journal.
Which we encourage both of them to do, to have their own
I want to look at it
their
so
own.
bad, and I know I can't.
I feel like for me, that switch has to remain off because like if I flip it on, then it's gonna be on forever. And it's like I need to know, I need to tell myself that they have their own private things, and I'm never ever gonna look at them unless there's like some emergency or something's really going wrong, you know, like mental health wise. But like that, like I think it's important. I always had diaries and I always had journals and stuff, and I trusted that my parents never looked at.
Do you think
them.
they ever did?
The only thing I know is that when my dad comes across them now, because like he still has them, like, you know, he has told me, like, I read the first couple of pages. Here you go. Like, I didn't want to read anymore. I'm like, I probably don't either. I don't even know what I was writing like back then.
So stupid.
But then, so like it's been pretty honest, you know. But I feel like having those private spaces is also really important. But I love that they want to do everything out here. They want to do everything with us still, and that's kind of amazing.
So cute.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta work. I gotta read.
She's wrapping up, folks.
I gotta do a lot of reading.
Yeah, you read those chapters. I know. I feel like I've assigned you like your homework is.
I know, and I gotta really start thinking about what I'm creating in terms of imagery. We gotta talk about it.
Mm-hmm. We got to get those dopamine tasks lined up, and then I'll blow them up a bunch, and then you'll bring them back, and we will do it. That's the creative process.
Now is the time because I have like a week.
Yeah, before other projects come in.
Yes. Hopefully. I don't know. Things keep popping up here and there. A roller coaster of freelance. More stuff coming up for you too.
I know. I didn't really. I have a wonderful person who is supporting my career in research and writing in ways that I just would never have expected that somebody would be able to offer me, and I'm so grateful for it because I'm just kind of like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that too. And now all of a sudden there's this little, like, tiny little nascent business around it. So
little experience bubble.
I never knew I would really enjoy like the level of detail that goes into like creating an index or like citations. Like I started out in my graduate program, last story because you're yawning, is I started out, and one of my famous graduate school stories is I got a B, and I don't get B's. Like, that's just not acceptable. I get A's, maybe an A minus if something is like a little off, you know. But this professor gave me a B because the first paper I submitted to her was pretty good, but it wasn't cited properly. And the thing that I underestimated about citing is that it just shows the professor that you're paying attention and like that you're following the rules, right? And so ADHD here, I'm like, I don't care about your rules, right? And I want to write the content of the paper. I want to write what I think and my arguments and all the wonderful thousands of hours of research support that I put into it, right? But she couldn't read the paper because the citation was all wrong, or non-existent, right? So she gave me a B on the paper, and I was like, I get
devastation.
I remember like reading the email and being like, okay, it's okay. This is just for me. No one cares. And then I was just like, inside I was just like, I care. Like, I can't have that. I ended up getting an A minus in the class, obviously, but whatever. And so, but I took the learning and I went so hard into learning how to cite that now I love it. And
oh my God.
Now I'm advising undergrads on their undergrad thesis. And I'm like, you have to understand how important the citation is. They can't read your paper. It's too distracting. You have to just cite correctly and move on. And so now,
oh God, nerds.
Now I'm in. I'm all in. Here's my chips. All in.
That's amazing. That was a great story.
You really enjoyed it. It really kept you awake. I'm
go. Still so tired. I'm catching up from the other night still.
Oh, that's a lovely reason.
All right. Go back to work.
Back to work. We will get those dopamine tests going for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.